Is Reileen Kawahara in Altered Carbon really dead? Reileen Kawahara, played by Dichen Lachman, met a brutal end in Netflix drama Altered Carbon, after her brother Takeshi Kovacs, Joel Kinnaman, and the other envoys attacked her brothel head in the clouds. The seedy and immoral establishment for meths was sent crashing to the ground with Ray inside it, presumably signaling her death in the destruction of her stacked downloadable digital consciousness. Earlier in the show, police officer Kristen Ortega, Martha Higuereda, was seen trapped inside Ray's apartment with her creepy selection of sleeves coming out of the wardrobe, and the police officer shooting them dead one by one. Ortega ended up destroying the sleeves, which would mean that Ray no longer had a spare one she could have her stack implanted into. Altered Carbon Season 2 Netflix release date. Altered Carbon showrunner Layetta Kalogridis recently addressed Ray's death, telling Entertainment Weekly, "Yes. Within the world of Altered Carbon, she is real dead, stack dead. All of her backups are corrupted. Kovacs did succeed in completely destroying the person you saw. I would argue that they bookend each other as brother and sister. She chooses that," she went on to say. "When she says, 'Go ahead, do it,' she chose to die. She didn't want to continue living. She got a look in his eyes at the mirror of herself." So according to Kalogridis, Ray did indeed die in Altered Carbon, but in a world where immortality is attainable, things aren't so straightforward. What is a meth? What is a stack? Will Reileen Kawahara be in Altered Carbon Season 2? Kalogridis didn't seem to rule out the possibility of a return for Ray, saying, "But the story of Altered Carbon is not told as a linear story, so we could see Reileen at another point in her life, but that version of Reileen who faced off against her brother at the head in the clouds is gone." She also said that if Kovacs did return for a second outing, he could be back in a new sleeve. Kalogridis explained, "I totally have thought about Kovacs being a woman. I've discussed that with the studio and network precisely because I think that's part of the promise of this type of story. You can explore what those gender differences mean from the inside and not just the outside." What is a dipper in Altered Carbon? Will there be another season of Altered Carbon? Netflix hasn't officially announced a recommission yet, and Kalogridis has confirmed she doesn't have a second season. But generally, Netflix does renew its original shows. On top of that, there's been a lot of buzz about Altered Carbon, which is always a good sign for a follow-up. There is plenty of scope in the Altered Carbon universe, which is based on a series of books by author Richard K. Morgan. With a wealth of source material and an already established fanbase from the novels, it would seem strange if Altered Carbon didn't get a second outing. Altered Carbon is available to watch on Netflix.